What's up, IE Sports Radio fans? It's your boy, the undisputed champion of the professional wrestling podcast world. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint. That's right. Who that? Who that? Who that say they're going to beat them Saints? Not the Dallas Cowboys. And next week it won't be the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right. Who that? Man, I'm riding high off of that big lopsided victory that the Saints put on, that smashing that they put on the Dallas Cowboys this past Sunday. And I am ecstatic to be here today for you IE Sports Radio fans to put on the premier professional wrestling podcast known as the IE Wrestling Show. Your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Got a hell of a show for you today because we got a lot to talk about. Fair enough. We got a whole bunch of wrestling news to catch up on because I know the last couple of weeks I've been here, I've been kind of focusing on certain events and certain shows and my opinions of that nature and whatnot. But we got a lot of wrestling news to talk about. And luckily, this week, I got a special guest. It is the host of the Crescent City Connection. One of my bros, one of my peeps, one of my family members here of the IE Sports Radio crew. Talking about T5. What is good, brother? How you doing today, my friend?
Who that, brother? What's happening? What's happening?
That's right. Who that? That's right. Who that?
Man, we laid down one of those Gunther type chops on the Cowboys, man. You need that mark on your chest.
Gunther chop, man. That was a Braun Breaker smashing right there, man. Just plowing through that defense this Sunday. Man, I'll tell you what, man. It was that was if that is a sign of things to come, man, this could be one of those rare teams that could actually go to the Super Bowl in the city that the Super Bowl is, playing in the Super Bowl that they play for. You know what I'm saying? Like, when has that ever happened, really? You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine Nolan's energy during that? I can't even think about it. And it's gonna be during Mardi Gras season. Like, on top of that, like, bro. I remember the parade they had for the first Super Bowl. Ooh, boy, that energy, man. Ooh, I may have been afar when I was watching it, but man, that energy was crazy. Oh man, I can only imagine, man. Because I still remember where I was. Like there's certain events in your life you always be like, yeah, I remember where I was. I could tell you what I was eating, like all that. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings right here in Fort Worth with one of my buddies when they played the Colts in that Super Bowl, and let me tell you, who that nation was there. The whole place was all about the Saints, man. I haven't seen so much black and gold in my entire life up until that point. And man, when they were winning, bro, we were just like, it was like one of those, you're just hugging complete strangers. People are crying.
Yeah.
It was, man, I will always remember that, man. And I would love to live through that again, bro.
Man, because that's how it gets down in the dome. Like, I remember, like, my first game, it was like Bill Parcells was still coaching the Patriots when they first changed them jerseys over. And my pops had got tickets from his employer at the time. That was my first game. Yeah. Wow. We was sitting there. We was coming back on Patriots. I think Bledsoe was the quarterback. He was coming back on the Patriots. He had this one drunk cat that was sitting under us. We was in the high seat. He was like, "Yeah, you see that homie? You see that little homie?" It was beautiful, man. It was so much fun.
That's what I love about especially going to like a home game or something like that, because like that energy, man, that everybody's sharing. It's like you guys are just like instant friends. You know what I mean? Like that bond is just instant. You don't have to know nobody's name. It's just, we here for a common reason. And that's how I feel every time when I go to a wrestling event. It's like that too, especially when it's entertaining and you just feel that energy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody's just all about it. Like I remember just this past February when I went to that SmackDown show in Dallas during WrestleMania season where it was Rock and Roman solidifying the tag team match for WrestleMania Night 1 against Cody and Seth. And we're all waiting in line, me and my dad waiting to get inside, and there's all these people. Some people were dressed up, cosplaying like Ric Flair. I saw a few Macho Mans out there. Ooh, yeah.
Gotta be Macho Man, the most popular one.
Yeah, brother. And everybody had their title belts. Like, man, I saw so many badass belts, and people are hitting me up like, damn, that's a badass belt, bro. Because mine's a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. The Eddie Guerrero tribute belt.
Nice.
Yeah. And man, that energy that was there, and then like how we were feeling when the event was over after seeing that. I mean, hell, seeing The Rock, bro. You know how like every time Rock comes out, he always does this, to feel his goosebumps. Man,
yeah,
I was like that too, bro. I just felt it because I hadn't seen The Rock live. And
man, that energy you bring, that's why he says he's the most electrifying. It's true.
Oh, it's so, dude. It is. I mean, like people don't understand what it's like until you're actually there, man. That's what I tell people like that have never been to wrestling, who aren't wrestling fans. You don't know what it's like until you're actually sitting there watching it. It's different. I know people be like, I can't watch that shit, when it's on TV or whatever. It's not the same, man. It is not the same. You have to experience it live at least once in your life. You know what I mean? And I feel like you have a better respect for it, especially and an appreciation for it once you actually sit in the crowd and actually watch it. My very first wrestling event ever that my dad took me to, the year 2000. It was the height of the Attitude Era. The Rock and Triple H were in the main event for the WWE Championship. It was a house show. It wasn't a pay-per-view. It wasn't Raw or SmackDown. And we had nosebleed seats. We were at the top of the fucking arena. The entire arena was sold out. This was the, I don't know what it's even called now, but it was the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim at the time, where the Ducks play. Yeah. That's where it was. And this was on a Saturday afternoon. And it was sold completely out from top to bottom, not an empty seat anywhere in the house. And, man, The Rock held that crowd in the palm of his hand. You know what I'm saying? And he was the WWE champion at the time. And Rock is still like that after all these years, man. That was some 24 years ago. And he's still got it, bro. He's still got it.
I remember when I was watching SmackDown and he had the surprise pop-up. Dude, the pop he got was crazy.
Man, you should. I think I do have it recorded. I need to put it on here one day. From when me and my dad were there, when his music hit, when you like the very first, if you smell that, dude, Dallas just blew up, man. I thought I could feel the room shaking. That's how crazy it was.
The look on everybody's face was crazy because nobody saw it coming. And then you just heard the music. They're like, "Is he here? What's he doing here? Is he here? Right? Is he here?"
Exactly, man. Shit, I'm getting ahead of myself, man, because I'm enjoying this conversation. But I want to shout out to my boy, host of the Yinzer Report, Ralph Khalees is in the chat room. What's good, brother? Yeets! I gotta give him that one time, bro. Gotta give him that yeet one time. Yeah. Oh man! Oh, look at that! Yeah, Ralph's got a wrestling show memory too. My first ever wrestling live show was at MSG, and the highlight was Jimmy Superfly Snuka jumping off Andre the Giant's shoulders for the win over the Samoa. Damn, that's cool, Ralph. That's badass, man. See, and it's crazy how many when you come across different wrestling fans and the eras that they talk about. Because me living right here in Fort Worth, I run into a lot of fans of World Class, and they talk about the Von Erichs against the Freebirds, and that's so cool to hear. I love talking to old school wrestling fans, and they tell me stories about a lot of the old school wrestlers, and then it's really cool to appreciate hearing the old time stories. But then I always feel like a bit of a sad nostalgia in a way, because a lot of those guys, they're no longer with us, man. A lot of our guys, man, they don't make it to old age, which is sad. I mean, the same could be said for a lot of football players too nowadays, which is really sad.
Man, yep.
Like they almost go hand in hand with one another in a morbid sort of way, But I got so many memories of a lot of old school wrestlers and like wrestlers that I grew up with, like during my, when I was a kid. That now I look back and say, damn, they're not here anymore. You know what I mean? Like guys I used to see on TV and ECW and some WCW guys all the time now. Like, man, I took it real hard, when what was it? Just a couple years ago when Scott Hall passed away. You know what I mean?
That was my dude, man.
Oh, he was mine. I love Scott. Scott was, out of all the Click members, for some reason, man, Scott was my dude, man. I like all those dudes. HBK, Nash, X-Pac, Hall. I like them all. I'm a fan of all of them, but Hall was just something about him, man. The way he used to get.
Dude, I'm an HBK stan, but out of the whole Click, like Razor, Scott, that was my dude. Hey, yo. Dude, I used to go in high school. I used to have like the little yellow straw. I used to keep a big. I used to keep a bunch of them in my pocket, and I walk with one in my ear and one in my mouth, go into the classroom.
Right.
Hey yo, and tosses the whole nine, bro.
I mean, he was the bad guy. I mean, like they said, he used to ooze machismo, and I don't think that could describe him any better than that. You know what I mean? Scott Hall was just like the epitome of cool, man. Like the NWO when that started, and Fort Life. That's one more for the good guys, Hey yo, man, yeah, it's like it's crazy to think like, damn, like he's no longer with us, and
it is, bro. Man, I took
Brett
Piper hard, bro. When Piper passed, that was when I first got into wrestling when I was a little pup, man. That was my dude. Like everybody was like Hulkamaniac and stuff. No, I was Roddy Piper, dude. He was just wild. Bro. He was just so different. And he was like he took them promos with Mean Gene, and he's like, I'm like, bro, that was my guy, man. Roddy Piper was my
love
dude.
Piper, man. Yeah, Piper was one of my favorites too, man, from the old school days. Ralph in the chat room, man, I was a Nash fan for life. Man, I love Nash too, man. I'm still a Nash fan. I love Kevin Nash. He's one of the another dudes too that was just like he uses charisma too, man. Like that guy, like he got over more on Nash got over more on his charisma than he did on his in-ring skills. That's
exactly.
And that's not a bad thing, I mean, sometimes it takes all different types to keep the business going round and round. And Nash was just one of those guys that fit into a certain mold, And then Dan, and we just recently, I know I hadn't even talked about it on the show. I feel bad not having talked about it, but we lost Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, a couple weeks back. So there goes another one of the big stars of the 80s and 90s no longer with us. And so it makes me appreciate when you see certain legends that are still with us. Like we saw Bret on Raw. Bret the Hitman Hart. No. He's in my top 5 forever. Bret will always be in my top 5.
Long time.
Best there was, best there ever will be. You can't discriminate or hate on Bret Hart. If you do, I feel like you're not a true wrestling fan if you don't appreciate.
You wilding, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad to see Bret. In a way when you think about it, because I see how like people do those photo edits of a group or something, and like they black out the members that aren't no longer in the living.
You have to do the whole group.
Yeah, and they do the Hart Foundation, and Bret's the only one that's still with us, man.
I just now thought about that. That's wild.
Jim's gone, and Owen, of course, rest in peace, Owen. That was man. I still remember where I was with that too, man. That was my first real dose of reality, I guess, when I was a little kid. When Owen passed, and then I got another knock on it again, years later when Eddie died, and Eddie was my favorite, my absolute favorite, man. I miss Eddie every single day, man. I took that one rough, man, because that was a rough year, not to get too personal. But my mother passed away the same year Eddie Guerrero died, so it's just like, man, my mom passed away a few months, and then a few months later, Eddie died. I'm just like, damn, what the fuck else could happen this year? You know what I mean? Like it was rough that year, man. But we make it through, man. By the grace of God, we make it through. So, you know, we keep memories that keep going. So, you know, whenever I'm feeling down in terms of like wrestling wise, I'll pop on an Eddie tape or I'll look up an Eddie match.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I get, brought back to where I need to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
man, it still pops me to this day, man. The stuff Eddie would do, whether it be in ring, the matches, or whether it be like some of the shenanigans and tomfoolery this dude was doing, bruh. Like next level stuff, man. Next level, man. Like I remember I first got into WCW. One of the first cats I seen was Eddie Guerrero, and he was like full on heel and stuff at this point, and that's what got me into the cruiserweights and the luchadors, and that was a wrap. That was a wrap for me.
Yeah, him and Ray, man, they were putting on classics all the way back then.
Woo, yep.
Yeah, man, and that they were my dudes, man, in WCW. If it wasn't the NWO, it was Eddie and the cruiserweights.
Yeah, but that was my favorite part right there. Juventud, Super Calo, Jushin Light, bro. Jushin Thunder Liger was my dude, bro.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about Japanese wrestling until I seen WCW and the cruiserweights, and I was like, bro, who is this cat? Jushin Thunder Liger. And that was a wrap. Ultimo, Dope collecting.
Oh, bro, Ultimo was dope back in the day.
Word.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got now. See that this is what I've been needing here on the show, man. I needed somebody to bounce some old school memories off of, man. I appreciate you coming in, man, being a part of the show today for sure, man. You always have a seat right here, man. If you ever want to pop back in again, you're more than welcome to pop on in, brother. Anytime you want. Just FYI already, all right? But damn, we gotta let's keep the lights on, man. I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's shout out to, you know, our I should have put let's get your our tags on here. You can see me planetjerky.net. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky is one of our official sponsors of iSports Radio. I don't know if you had a chance to try it yet, man, but
I'm waiting on mine coming in the mail, brother.
Ooh, that's my favorite one, man. Volcanic jalapeno. I love anything spicy. Shit. Growing up in California with a mother that was born in New Orleans and a father that was born in Mexico, you know, I was eating good, especially in the spicy department.
Well, most definitely. But you already know how we do over here, man.
Yeah, that's right. And if you want to order yourself some delicious premium brisket beef jerky, you got to go to planetjerky.net. And you can also follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky as well. That's their official Instagram handle. Premium Brisket Beef Jerky by Planet Jerky. This jerky's on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. I love to add that on there, you know, because you think of beef jerky, man, dig it. And not only that, if you're looking to add a little bit of panache and whatever, you know, to make those invitations to the bridal shower or to the wedding or to your son's or daughter's graduation or your promotion party or whatever special event you're trying to hold with family and friends, get Seal the Deal wax seals from Mrs. Larry B. That's right, Cecilia B. She is the beautiful wife of our awesome head honcho, Larry B., the man who runs the show here at iSports Radio. You can order her stuff directly from iSportsRadio.com, Seal the Deal wax seals, or you can check out a lot of her products on the official Instagram page at Seal the Deal Bottom Score Wax Seals. And don't take my word for it. Check out these awesome commercials from our sponsors in iSports Radio. I'm going to be right back here in just a moment. We'll be right back, guys.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
You know, that beat got a little West Coast feel to it. Got Dr. Dre vibes on that beat right there. Welcome back, y'all, to the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. You heard from our awesome sponsors, planetjerky.net, Planet Jerky, and at their website you can go to at planetjerky.net. And, of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, where you can order directly from our official website at iesportsradio.com/seal the deal wax seals. And excuse me, before we continue, just wanted to update y'all. Of course, you can go to iesportsradio.com. You can join for free. You can interact with a lot of the hosts who are official members of the website. And like the commercial says, you can backtrack and see a lot of our IE Sports Radio shows. If you're just now becoming a fan of IE Sports Radio, you can go back to my page at the IE Wrestling Show and look up some of my past episodes. And you can also check out the Crescent City Connection. You get up to date if you've missed the first couple shows or watch, go back, whatever you want to do to catch up. Make sure you don't miss any of T5's awesome content. It's going to be right there on the IE Sports Radio official website. And if you like what we do, of course, go to our official shop page and get yourself one of these bad boys, the official IE Sports Radio shirt. And it's got our logo and our official motto, your direct feed for all that is sports. We got tank tops, we got hats, we got I think we're going to be having hoodies in the fall. So go to iSportsRadio.com/shop to get some awesome merch, just like that shirt I just showed you right there.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. Before we get into some wrestling news, I just want to see if I can get y'all to help out your boy a little bit. I know I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. Go to the link down below, faceofhorror.org/2024/Martin-Sandoval. I am currently in second place. I'm trying to get to that honorary top spot, guys, because the big grand prize I'm trying to win, I'm trying to do it for me and my family. It is a grand prize to go on a real life ghost hunt with the actor who portrayed Jason Voorhees. That's right, Jason Voorhees, that killer in that dreaded hockey mask in multiple Friday the 13th films. His name is Kane Hodder. If you've ever seen this dude, he is a hulking of a man. Me and my wife have seen him many times going to horror conventions here in Fort Worth and in the Dallas area. Not only that, I will be a part of a photo shoot for a horror magazine called Rue Morgue Magazine. And then the tippy top of the prize is a grand prize of $13,000. And I am in the woo! And I am in the second place right now of the second round. Voting ends this coming Thursday night for the second round. The top 15 move on to the next round. And then I don't know how many move on from there, but if I stay where I'm at, I'm good to go. So please help me move on to the next round, y'all. It's a free thing. You don't have to spend any money if you don't want to, because it's actually a contest that's put on by a charity called the Starlight Foundation. It's for helping with children at pediatric cancers and other illnesses that they need some fundraising for, it's a good cause. I've donated some shekels myself to help me in the contest, but it's for a good cause. You know what I mean? Anything involving children, I'm always for. So if you can, it only takes a second, log in. If you have a Facebook account, that for some reason, that's the thing that you have to have. I know some people don't even have that anymore, but if you have a Facebook account, just log in, do the daily free vote, and you help your boy out. So if you're a fan of mine and like what I do here, I would greatly appreciate it. But man,
100%.
Thank you, brother. So we got some wrestling news to talk about, man. We got a lot on the plate. This is something I haven't done in quite a while. Like I said, the last couple of weeks I've been focusing on, talking about certain events and certain shows. I know I talked about I previewed the last TNA pay-per-view, Victory Road, which apparently was another sellout for TNA. So kudos to them. TNA doing the damn thing. I'm so glad to see them thriving after all these years. Where, man, they're just like a cockroach. They just won't die. Like TNA is just, they're hanging in there, man, and they're doing some of their best stuff in quite some time, man, which is really good to see. I know me and you were going back and forth in the chat room about TNA last week. I know I don't know if you caught any of Victory Road, but the wrestler himself, JBL, popped up during the main event of
man.
What kind of world do we live in where JBL, WWE Hall of Famers, popping up in GCW, TNA, over in AAA, and like what? What is going on?
Man, times they are changing, man.
They certainly are.
I remember the joke for a long time is, man, TNA ain't gonna be around here in a couple of years, man. Impact not gonna be around here in a couple of years, man. Impact ain't gonna last 2 more years. Impact ain't gonna last 5 more years. And here it is, 2024, and they still here. They have not gone under. They are still here, man.
They are still here, bro. They're still thriving. Just to date myself, I've been watching TNA since they were doing those weekly $10 pay-per-views every Wednesday. They didn't even have a television deal. Back in 2002, that's when it started. They were doing weekly pay-per-views every Wednesday. That's how you had to watch TNA when it first launched. And that was when they were NWA TNA. They weren't even their own identity yet. They were still a part of the National Wrestling Alliance. That's how far back this goes. 2002. That's when Ken Shamrock was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Anybody remember that out there in the chat room? Does anybody remember that watching live? Probably not. Like, do yourself a favor and look up some old school TNA stuff. I mean, and it just progressively got they were starting to roll. They were starting to get some steam, and they started signing some big names: Christian Cage, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle. That was the biggest one. That had to be the biggest signing they ever had was Kurt Angle. Sting. I don't know. What do you think, T-Vi? What do you think TNA's biggest signing ever was?
Man, I remember when I first caught on to them. I was at my homie Brian's house. We was all just chilling, and we was flicking channels. He had like a satellite hookup and stuff, and we was flicking channels. He gave me the remote to flick channels. I was like, bro, they got wrestling on tonight. What this is, very sure. And I seen Ron the True Killings, and I was like, oh snap, Kate Quick, what are you doing on here? And I seen Road Dogg, and I was like, man, what's going on? What's really going on? Stuff. So we stopped and watched, and we ended up watching because of them, but we ended up coming back because we saw this young cat, this young spry young feller by the name of AJ Styles. I wonder what happened to that guy. And he was doing all kinds of the wildest. And I'm like, this gave me WCW Cruiserweight vibes. And I was like, we came back. Next thing you know, we started seeing dudes like Christopher Daniels, Amazing Red, Chris Sabin.
I haven't thought about him in a minute.
The X Division was popping, and we came back from that. It was popping hard, and then they got their own show, and we started watching on the regular. They was on Spike. They was bouncing around a couple. Man, TNA was popping. TNA was popping. The biggest signing to me might have been Kurt.
Yeah, I mean, what's good to really be?
Changed the game. Kurt, the Olympic gold medalist, former WWE champion, Kurt changed the game up there. They had Jeff had popped up before him, and I think Christian had popped up too before him.
But none of that was the needle for them. You know what I mean? Like Jeff and Christian were big names, but they didn't really like bring more eyes to the product like I think a lot of people thought they would. Not until Kurt got there, because that was so unexpected. Nobody thought Kurt was going to TNA whenever he left the WWE that summer in 2006. Like the way that WWE, whenever they released him, the way they worded it in their posting about it on their website was like, Kurt they almost made it seem like Kurt was taking a hiatus and he'll be back eventually. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the idea that they were presenting us.
Yeah.
We know what Kurt was going through at the time because, many years later we'd find out. If you haven't seen it, there's a really awesome documentary on Peacock called Angle that's about Kurt's career in professional wrestling and in the Olympics. So before his time in wrestling. So if you've never seen it, if you subscribe to Peacock, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's awesome. But that was a huge shock to the wrestling world whenever Kurt showed up. I was in my sophomore year of college, and I remember I had just gotten back from class, I think, or a study session or something, because it was on a weekend, of course. Yeah, I think it was a study session. I went to go check my emails and see if I had just to make sure I didn't have anything that I needed to turn in before Monday's classes. And I see the internet blowing up about Kurt Angle's in TNA, and I was like, "What the fuck?" No, the head honcho's in the chat room, Larry B. What's going on? I see you, brother. What's going on? How you like the hardware, bro? How you like that hardware? Oh hell! Oh, okay. Let me get my Stone Cold voice on. Hell yeah! Oh man, but man, I don't know. Did TNA ever do any tourings over there in Louisiana? Because they actually made it as far as California. When I was still in college, they did a tour. They came all the way out to Ontario, California. Larry knows where that's at. It's like maybe like a 15, 20-minute drive from where I was going to college. I was going to college in Riverside at the time. And me, my buddy, and my girlfriend.
They actually did because, they were at the time, they started off running up out of the asylum in Nashville. Jeff had them running out of there. So they would pass through and they would come like little kind of like almost like a house show loop.
Right,
and they would come through because we had we had Wildcat Wrestling. That was the local promotion down here. Let me see. It might have been because I had just moved because of the hurricane, because of Katrina. So I had caught TNA before they blew up.
Oh, okay. So when they came out to California, this was already Kurt's already there. Samoa Joe was already there. A few other big stars had already made the jump at the time, and I guess they thought they were ready to go, try to do a national tour. This is before Hogan and Bischoff got there. So this was like in that mid like area, like in between that. This was like 2000 and I want to say like 2007, like late 2007. They came out to this. They had built this new arena in Ontario. I forgot the name of it at the time. I think it was called the Citizens Bank Arena or something. I forget, but it was some new arena.
Right.
It
sounds about right.
Something like that. Like it was like fresh. Like they literally just cut the ribbon off this thing. I don't even know if they had any wrestling events there. So I think TNA might have been the first one. And I was in my mind, I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be a big deal. So I called the arena and asked, because I barely had found out about it like a couple days prior. And I called the box office. I was like, do you guys still have any tickets available for the TNA house show? And the lady, I feel bad saying this, but the lady laughed. She goes, yeah, we have plenty. And I was like, oh, cool. Not even thinking anything. So I didn't buy my tickets until we got there. We bought them directly from the box office. My bro Tony and my girlfriend at the time, and then we get there, and Travis, bro, it was half cut. It was like going to an AEW show now. It was like going to an AEW show now, unfortunately, because they had half of the arena tarped off, and then the half that we were actually sitting in was less than 1,000. I mean, like it was just like we were in the front row. Like I could touch the wrestlers. We were front row for $40, front row, dead center. The 6-sided ring is right there in front of me. They had a little entrance ramp off to the side, and it literally had to be about if 1,000 people. I don't even think 1,000 people were there, to be honest. Like it was that small of an attendance. But man, those guys, they put on a hell of a show. Like if it was a sold out arena. The main event was Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles in a one-on-one match, and they went 30 minutes. They put on a hell of a match. It was, like they put on a show for us that paid our money to be there. You know what I mean? Whether it was 5 people or 500 people or 5,000, it didn't matter. They put on a show like if it was a sold out arena. And then after the fact, Kurt Angle let people come into the ring and take pictures and autographs with him. And then the wrestlers in the back came out and they did autographs and they signed. Like I had bought a program and I got Samoa Joe's autograph. I got Eric Young's autograph. I got Christopher Daniels. Technically, it was Curry Man when he was doing his Curry Man thing.
Oh, Curry Man!
Yeah, he's hot. He's spicy. He tastes great. Cold.
You gotta do the Curry Man dance, bro.
Yeah, damn. That's how long ago it was, bro. It was a good show.
Curry Man.
Yeah, you remember Curry Man? His mask had a little plate of curry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how long ago it was, bro. But they put on a good show, and then they sent us home happy. So I can't hate, even though it wasn't sold out or nothing like that. Sometimes it'd be those intimate type of settings where you have the best time.
That's the best time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, then they started to pick up. Like they started off, kind of slow, and then they started to pick up because, like I said, word of mouth started getting around. Folks started coming in, and they said, like, man, they got these X division, so and so's over there. Okay, Christian's over there. All right, cool. Jeff Hardy's over there. All right, cool. And you end up staying for the X division.
Yeah,
when the knockouts started popping off. When the knockouts division started popping off, that's when everybody was like, okay.
I agree.
The women's is wrestling's okay.
And they're having bangers too. They were having bangers, bro. Awesome Kong and
Gail Kim. Oh boy,
They were the benchmarks for that, man. They showed us that wrestling can be more than just bra and panties and models pretending to be wrestlers, because that's what we were getting at the time. So
Yeah, man.
they really were an alternative to what WWE was in that era. You know what I mean? Because WWE were still doing, you know. There was times where it was rough, but there was times it was entertaining. Like, you can't lie. I can't be I wouldn't be a real fan if I didn't bring up the negatives along with the positives. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the negatives, was their women's division was garbage, but TNA was where you had the premier women's wrestling division, because that's what they were. They were wrestlers. They weren't They weren't models pretending to be wrestlers. They weren't Diva Search contestants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had the indie girls from like Shimmer and from Japan coming over there, and they were wrestling. They weren't like on here, every once in a while you have a couple of them out there shaking their tail and stuff, but for the most part, they was wrestling. They was out there, man.
Yeah, I agree. They were doing their thing, man. So it's really good to see TNA where they are now. Congrats to TNA on another sellout. I think this is their fourth premium live event sellout. Every premium live event they've had this year has been a sellout. The first one that rebranded Impact into TNA, which was oh my god, I can't remember the name already. It was back in January. It's been so long. And then they've had three others since then, and they've all been sellouts.
I think it was Bound for Glory, huh?
No, Bound for Glory is is coming up. That's in October-ish. I think it's October. Bound for Glory is usually their fall pay-per-view.
All right.
Yeah. Was it Against All Odds?
Slammiversary.
Slammiversary was the last one, just before this one.
Dang,
I'm Slammiversary. Okay, no, I think I remember. It was Against All Odds, then Slammiversary, then Emergence, and then Victory Road is what they just had. So I think it was Against All Odds was the one back in January, where Alex Shelley lost the TNA title to Moose. That was the main event that night, and that's when Nick Nemeth showed up and debuted for TNA. I still remember that. Yeah, that was. But man, they're doing damn good. Nick Nemeth is still their reigning TNA champion. Joe Hendry is probably their biggest star on the roster. I mean, you can argue that. I mean, with the reception he's gotten since being on WWE television, I mean, I feel like it's only a matter of time before WWE snatches him up when his contract ends. I mean, I feel like that would be the smart thing for him to do, especially the way that they presented him. They even gave him a main event on one of their pay-per-views. Like, when is the last time that WWE promoted someone from another company and had him main event one of their premium live events? He main evented against Ethan Page at No Mercy. So, I mean, I feel like it's a no-brainer for him to sign with NXT or WWE, whatever, come his contract coming up with TNA. Same goes for Jordynne Grace. I feel like she's a shoe-in to be a WWE superstar in the near future for sure.
Yeah, they kind of like not kind of. They did roll out the red carpet for her, like when she was the surprise interest in the Rumble, the Women's Rumble. Man, she got some good shine, and they let her use the music and everything, and she put on. Then they brought her back again, and they rolled out the red carpet. And let her look, man. They had her looking like $1 million, man.
Oh,
and
for sure,
Like the thing. See, the one downside about TNA / Impact is the channel they're on. Not everybody can get it.
Yeah,
like, that's why I loved it. I loved it when they had it on YouTube, where you pay like about $4, $5 or whatever, and you could watch it on YouTube. And you get like the low tier pay-per-views too. So I was like, cool, I love this. But when they decided to go in for business and kind of upgrade and do their website that way they can cut, the middleman out, everybody was like, wait, what's going on? Time out. Where's my Impact at? What's going on? Right. And then you had to go to the website and do it for like, I think it's like $9.99 now. But their own app.
Yeah, TNA Plus is like $9.99. Is like this the basic plan. right now.
Yeah.
I'm still going back and forth in my head whether I should sign up or not. As much as I,
Me too, man. I've been thinking about it since I lost it on YouTube. I've been like, man, I'm starting itching, and I'm like, man, I need my TNA, bro. This is, oh man, what's
no.
But I might have to. I've been thinking about it, man.
It's like, do I need to have another streaming service on my bill?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I'm fixing to get rid of stars. I'm like, hey, as soon as Ghost is over with, I'm Ghost.
I know. I said the same thing on Netflix when certain shows were going to end. I was like, okay, but then the WWE deal happens. Like, fuck, I guess I'm staying with Netflix then.
All right. Yeah. And I'm thinking about that with Peacock. I'm like, what am I gonna need Peacock for? Then I'm thinking about, well, they show some of the football on there, and then Twisted Metal getting another season. So I'm like, let them not be too hasty, man.
Yeah, and I mean, so far, I guess the deal with Peacock is still a thing that the library is still going to be there, and the premium live events will still be on there. But I think eventually they're going to transition to Netflix at some point. You know what I mean? But right now, I think just Netflix is the home for Raw so far, and maybe they might do some special things with that. But I mean, I don't know. Don't take my word for it. I'm not trying to melter anybody out there with this false information.
What are you trying to say?
Right. But all right, let's get into some wrestling news, man. So talking about WWE, since we're now talking about them, NXT, man, they're making some huge plays for their CW debut. I don't know if you watched NXT last night, but two major matches were announced for. One match was announced officially made for the NXT debut in Chicago on October. Oh Lord, was it October 2nd, October 3rd? I can't remember what the date is.
I think it's I think it's the 1st and the 8th. I think
that's right. The first, yes, the first. It's going to be official. Ethan Page, all ego Ethan Page, will defend the NXT Championship against Trick Williams in a rematch. But not only that, CM Punk, Chicago's homeboy, Chicago's hometown boy, Second City Saint, will be the special guest referee for the NXT Championship match between Trick and Ego. What do you think about that, man? Who you got? Do you think Trick's going over in Chicago, or you think we're going to still be living in the era of Ego after Chicago's NXT debut?
Shawn Michael Hickenbottom, what are you trying to do to us, bruh? What kind of point are you trying to prove, man? We get it, bruh. We get it. You want us to watch? We're here, bruh. We're here, man.
Right?
They wilding, bro. They wilding, man. They got the voice of the voices, the best in the world, pulling up on NXT with the pulling up. Man, that was fire last night, man. Trick versus Ego. Whoop that Trick. Is he gonna whoop that Trick? I think he is, man. I think so. Because as much as I love Trick, I don't think he's ready for the main roster, especially if you don't have a plan for him. So I think he still has a little bit more. And plus, his reign got kind of cut short a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I don't want to see his reign. I don't want to see him leave NXT without getting another reign as champion. So I feel like I'm gonna put it like this: if you're not gonna put the belt on Julia, because I think that's the one that should really be. Now I feel like I don't know who should be the main event, because I feel like it's almost gonna overshadow Julia and Roxanne if they're not the main event, unless they're the opening match. You either got to start hot or you got to end hot. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's either got to be Julia and Roxanne is the main event in Chicago, or Julia and Roxanne needs to be the opening match, and Punk with Trick and Ego has to be the main event. But I only say that because if you're not going to put the belt on Julia, that's how you should book the show. But if they plan on putting the belt on Julia, then Julia and Roxanne needs to be the main event. But I almost feel like it's almost too soon. It is too soon to put the belt on Julia in a way. But she has come across as such a star. This girl is gorgeous. She has that aura. You know, that's a term that wrestling fans have been using recently. Like either you have aura, or you're aura-less. And Roxanne is the definition of aura. I mean, her debut against Chelsea was awesome. The music was awesome. The presentation was fantastic. Her gear, her whole demeanor, like she's awesome. I'm a huge Julia stan right now. Okay, I'm in love with this girl. And I went back and watched a lot of her matches from Japan, and this girl, she's the real deal, man. She is talented. Okay, she's hard hitting. She makes her stuff look good. It looks crisp. It looks real. Like real close to the chest. And Roxanne, she has been the end all be all on the NXT women's roster. She is the prodigy, so to speak. You know what I mean? And her and Julia are going to have an awesome match. I don't doubt it whatsoever. But do we put the belt on Julia now, or do we continue this feud longer?
Man, that's a very interesting question, man. Because like first off, I'm one of them Stardom, New Japan nerds. They'll be like, "Hey, so what time is that what time is that Japanese time? What time is that? What time Wrestle Kingdom starts?" I'm one of those guys. I stay up like, you know what? We're gonna put on a pot of coffee. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, right. We're gonna be
I'm one of those cats. So I knew about Julia, man, and I was like, what? My girl's coming over. The fellows, the girl, she's coming to America. Coming to. I was hyped for it. So man, when she came out, I was like, there you go. That's it. That's a wrap. Like the tease they gave when Roxanne got knocked on her butt. She got the tape slapped out of her mouth, and the shadowy figure pulled up, and she was like, "You." I kind of figured it had to be Julia.
It had to be Julia.
So when she finally pulled up, and you saw the aura, it was kind of like that Dave Chappelle skit with Prince, and all you saw was the fog.
Right.
And Prince just rolls in. He doesn't walk in. He just slides in. That's kind of like with Julia. She just slides in, and you're like,
yeah, Charlie Murphy.
I'm ready to risk it all. I'm ready to risk it all. So, man, do you put the belt on her? The question, because Roxanne been cooking, man. A lot of people didn't believe she could pull that heel off, the heel persona. And old girl says, hold my cup, sis. Hold my cup. And she out here, she's been cooking.
She has been. She's been doing really well.
Yeah, so now you're like, do we let her cook a little longer? Because a lot of people are saying if you pass the baton off to Julia, Roxanne could go up main roster right off rip because she's ready. True. But, do you want folks to get kind of used to Julia now? Because she's had the one match. And she's been on maybe like 2-3 times. I kind of feel like it might be a little too early, but you really don't want her taking unnecessary L's either.
It's very true. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I almost feel like Shawn Michaels has kind of booked himself into a corner here with this match. Unless we get the shenanigans of somebody that Julia will end up actually feuding with to kind of split her time, and maybe they save the big win for WrestleMania weekend in Vegas. I can see that. Maybe I don't know who it could be who could interrupt and start feuding with Julia to do that. I can't even think of anybody right now that would that's on the roster that could do that. Maybe a returning Cora Jade. Maybe they bring Roxanne and Cora Jade back together. Because remember, they were NXT Tag Team Champions at one time. So, and now they're both heel. So, and they're always doing like a lot of social media videos together. So, I mean, it kind of almost makes sense that you would want to maybe bring that to television, and maybe Cora Jade makes her re-debut since she was out for injuries pretty much the whole year this year. I mean, that she could save Roxanne's title by interfering in the match, and then you get this feud with Julia and Cora Jade to kind of bide her time. And then in that instant, this is when you debut those other girls, the big signings that NXT has made with Delta coming from the Australian wrestling scene. And then you got Stephanie here is waiting in the wings. from the Lucha Libre side, and I'm right there with Stephanie Vakir. I'm a big stan for her. She's another one that's super talented, gorgeous. She has that aura. So, her match with Mercedes Moné at the Forbidden Door show, proves that she has what it takes to be a star here in America. And I still find that funny that she has this match in AEW. They tried to court her, and then she's like, "I'm gonna just slide over here." I'm gonna just slide over.
I heard from like an interview that they did that she grew up watching WWE, and that's been her dream.
Yeah,
that's been her dream. So that makes 100% sense. If you do, you do the AEW because you're doing business. CMLL, you're doing business and everything. But if WWE just happens to come, knock, 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 you're like, whoa. That's the package I was waiting for.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Ethan Page, the current NXT champion, I guess threw some shade on his former employers over there in Jacksonville. There was a lady in the crowd on Raw whose sign has been going viral on the internet since this past Monday, where she said, "I quit my job to be here." They got a shot of her in the crowd on Raw this past Monday, and that's what it said. "I quit my job to be here." And then Ethan Page retweeted that and then said, "Same here."
You can't even be mad at that. That was funny.
You can't be mad at that. That was 100% a shot at Jacksonville and Tony Khan.
Oh, 100%. Man, a lot of people felt like, Ego, he had everything. Why is he not getting pushed? He was doing everything. Why is he not getting pushed? He did the thing even when they put him with Scorpio Sky. You're like, bro, why a minute you're not getting pushed? And then when Scorpio got hurt, you still had Ego solo. Why is he not getting pushed?
And he wasn't doing a damn thing, just sitting there, just collecting a paycheck. And, for some guys, that's like, oh, cool, this is a sweet gig. But other guys, they want more out of their careers, and that's what Ego did. He bet on himself. Now look at him. Mm-hmm. He has won the NXT championship quicker than any other man in the history of that championship. The man that held the record for many years was Kevin Owens, because he won it a month after he debuted from his best friend Sami Zayn. Back in 2016. So that record held tight for quite some time up until Ego winning the title recently in that 4-way match. So he's already been presented as a bigger deal than he ever was in his time with AEW. That just goes to show you. It takes the right sort of booker with the right talent to get the most out of them. And that's the issue right there. That's a lot of the issue with AEW right now. And their head booker, the guy that signs the paychecks, the guy that wants to be everybody's friend, Tony Khan.
That's the thing about it. You also have when you have like a well of talent, you got to learn how to rotate. You got to learn how to rotate your pieces out. Go in here, you're getting guys like Jay White, Will Ospreay, all the big names and stuff, but you still got all these cats that were already here.
Yeah.
So you're putting your new toys on top of your old ones and stuff, and your old toys are getting pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's what's happening with Ego and a lot of the other cats. Instead of cycling people out, rotating, you sitting there just stacking on, and you're burying your good talent.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree, because I feel like right now Tony Khan is relying too much on Will Ospreay. He's got Will Ospreay fighting for the tag team titles at the next pay-per-view. Like, why is Will Ospreay fighting for the tag team titles? He's already a champion. He's the AEW the international champion. He two-time now. He already competed for the world championship this year, and now you got him competing for the tag team titles. Like, that spot should have went to a tag team. AEW's tag team division is the drizzling shits right now, and this is why you got a guy who's a single star teaming with one of his stable mates to fight for the tag team titles. Like you have a plethora of tag teams in the company right now. The guys that have never gotten an opportunity at the titles. You got Private Party. You got Air Flight, or what are they? Is it Air Flight? Top Flight. Sorry, Air Flight. Top Flight. There's teams that you need to start building. But right now, like, you're not building any of them. The only teams that have been in the tag team scene has been the Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed recently, and that's it. It's kind of just been rotating between the three of them, and now you want to, just shoehorn in Kyle Fletcher, whoever that is, and Will Ospreay into this.
You're not about to do that to Kyle Fletcher, man. Open? You're not about to do that. You're not about to do that.
Okay, he's all right, but still, I mean, he's not a tag team wrestler. That's my point. Like, it just makes your tag team
wrestler. Will's not a tag team wrestler, but Kyle is.
Oh, okay. I guess so. I guess that's true. I forgot.
Kyle's tag team partner, Mark Davis, is hurt.
Right. His dude is injured. That's right. Well, I mean, he's been wrestling solo for such a short amount. I guess a little bit. He's been solo for quite a while, almost the majority of this year, right? Yeah. So see,
ever since he joined Don Callis, the Don Callis family.
That's right. See, I forgot, man, because it's been so long. Like, I forgot about his partner being injured, but still, I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's such an odd thing to do, and it just makes your tag team division look, inadequate. You know what I mean? Like, if a tag team, if genuine tag teams who've been tagging for years, months, whatever, can't defeat two guys thrown together, you know what I mean? Like, how are they going to be any threat to whoever the champions are?
Yeah, I agree. Like, unless they have like a story they're gonna do with this, like someplace they're going with this, whether it be like Don Callis and the family situation, or returning Mark Davis or something, I don't see the point, because you can give Will Ospreay a new opponent and let him cook with that. There's a lot of people out there that can get that opportunity. International people that can get that opportunity. The tag team division, like you said, you have all these tag teams: Private Party, Top Flight. You even have they just brought in. I know the Grizzled Young Veterans are messing with FTR right now, so you can let them cook. But you have a deep well of tag teams that you could be pushing right now, and it all depends on what are you doing with this whole EVP Young Bucks situation and stuff. I feel like they should be doing a lot more with that, Yeah. And they have an opportunity to build up some of these young tag teams. Private Party is a babyface tag team, because remember, they have that upset victory against the Young Bucks. They can always run back to that. In the inaugural tag team tournament. Yeah, they put over Private Party. They can always go back to that. And then the same thing with FTR. I mean, not FTR. Top Flight. I believe they also have a victory against the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. They can always go back to this stuff and start building up these two young teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like these instances where you look like you're trying to progress the tag team division, they're just like thrown by the wayside. Like, what was the whole point of that if you're not going to push them? Like, Private Party's been there since day one in AEW, and they haven't gotten the push that I feel like they deserve. They had this weird storyline going on with Matt Hardy and the Hardy family, or whatever it was. Like, it just feels like it was so, I don't know, it was just all thrown together, just whatever. You know what I mean? Just
that was kind of like to give. I think Mark Quinn had got hurt, and they kind of just needed something for Isaiah Cassidy to do, and so they put him under Matt Hardy as sort of like a mentorship. So that whole deal, Money Matt and everything. Yeah, he couldn't get it from under his contract and everything. That's what that was about. And
yeah.
Like you said, like you said, you could be building up this new tag team. I mean, this young tag team, and finally doing something with them, and give them some much needed shot because they have the charisma, and they have the in ring ability. So they've been there long enough.
And I feel like I'm almost like confused in a way because I feel like Tony Khan would have already just jumped at the money match, and I would assume he would have went, especially with teasing it. You would think he would have Ospreay going against Ricochet at the next pay-per-view, not fighting for a tag team title. So I don't know what his deal is. I don't know why he's kind of edging us wrestling fans, waiting for this Ospreay Ricochet eventual meetup. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
I
if
think
he's
kind of they're taking their time with that. I think they're kind of taking their time with that because I like how right off the rip when Will Ospreay went to go stand off, have the stare down with Ricochet, out of nowhere, Pac comes out there. He's like, "Hell no, don't forget about me, man!" Wham, and called him lagging. He called Will Ospreay lagging, and then once again, him and Ricochet backstage, Will Ospreay and Ricochet having words and stuff.
Oh. That was bad.
kind of got you, man. Kind of got you there, Rick. You didn't get the reps in, brother. He kind of got you. You're like, well, I'm gonna see you, bro. Well.
I know. Promos have never been like his strong suit, for Ricochet. He always did his talking in the ring, but damn, that was bad. That was so bad.
That's like one of those situations where you get on the bus from school and you're like, man, I should have said that.
Right. This is probably going to hurt a lot of Ricochet fans' feelings, but that was like Kalisto doing lucha wrestling things bad. Remember that promo?
Oh,
that really bad one. He's like, yeah, I can't wait to do good lucha things. Okay, and then he just ran off all awkwardly off camera. Like that was bad. It was as bad as that. All right, it was that.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was bad.
But yeah, I think they don't want to rush into it. If anything, they want to get like more Ricochet on camera. They don't want to get him on TV more. So I think he's about to go into something with Beast Mortos, the former Black Taurus.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Hopefully, something good comes from it. I mean, they need it, man, because I just recently saw a picture. I don't know if you saw that picture that's been floating around since the weekend where they had the Collision tapings and it was about 90% empty. Like the arena, it was sad, like how empty that arena was. And I actually got some breaking news while we're here on the air. This article just popped up for me that apparently, this is taken with a grain of salt, but apparently AEW Rampage is reportedly set to get canceled. According to the AEW's biggest cheerleader, Dave Meltzer, Warner Brothers Discovery is not interested in renewing Rampage as a part of their upcoming AEW TV rights renewal. With a dead time slot and declining viewership, the writing seemed on the wall, which is true if you've been keeping up. Rampage has been getting record low numbers for quite some time, and it almost seems like an afterthought, after it was debuted as the second show for AEW, but they've been treating it as just like a whatever show. It's almost like watching Velocity or Sunday Night Heat, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, just throwing away matches for an hour. But if they get canceled, I guess it would allow more focus on AEW's flagship programs, which would be, of course, Collision and Dynamite. But Meltzer also noted that this apparent did you hear about the rumors about this apparent show that's supposed to premiere on Fox that AEW is going to do, AEW Wave? Apparently, those negotiations with Fox have hit a roadblock. The latest talks have seen a $20 to $30 million price tag to air the 1 hour program on Fox Sports 1 or on Tubi. So,
yeah. Tubi is a lot more accessible to people.
It is, but
yeah,
that's a little. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. don't know.
About it,
Everybody was about AEW being on Tubi, and now it could actually happen.
Shockwave is supposed to. It might be kind of like what Livewire was, or it might be like, or it might be like the little Saturday show they used to have in the morning. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, when old boys used to do the news and everything. It might be kind of like that, where they have Tony Schiavone or somebody come in the control center, or he in the back of the production truck, and he's giving us news, helping everybody catch up on stuff. That might be kind of like what that is. What that's gonna be.
Okay, fair enough. You know that's not too bad then. Maybe keeping people caught up on the shows if you're missing out. So yeah, that won't be too bad. There is so something did happen this week though, at least in the AEW realm of things on the Ring of Honor side. So I want to just shout out to Athena, formerly known in the WWE as Ember Moon. She is officially the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion in the company's history. Out of all the champions, out of all the titles, she has now held the women's championship longer than anyone out of any champion in that company's history. She's longer. She has a longer reigning champion than any of their past Ring of Honor World Champions, any of their past Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, any of their past Pure Champions or Television Champions. She is now holds the longest reigning championship title reign in Ring of Honor's history. So congrats to Athena for that. I almost feel like that's that she's been doing the work. Athena is definitely one of those talents that I feel like should have been given more in her time during WWE, but at the time, of course, we know who was in charge, and you know how he feels about women's wrestling and certain women. I'm pretty sure we know Vince's flavor. I'm tiptoeing around it, but we know. Let's just say Vince likes a lighter shade. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah. So it was obvious that he wasn't going to push her. You know what I'm saying? So, which is unfortunate because she's a really good talent, and she's known locally here in Fort Worth. Her husband, Matthew Palmer, is a big name on the indie scene, and he actually owns the local indie wrestling company out here in Dallas, Fort Worth, known as Metroplex Wrestling. And she's actually made plenty of appearances with her Ring of Honor Women's Championship from time to time. They actually live not even 20 minutes away from where I live in Bedford.
Yeah, did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. So and I've talked about it here on the show before, but Palmer is actually the cousin of one of my current coworkers at the police department.
Wow.
Yeah. She told me that when me and her started talking about wrestling. She's like, "Yeah, my cousin's a wrestler." I was like, "Really? Who's your cousin?" And she said his name. I was like, "I know who that is. What the fuck?" Yeah. And she's like, "Yeah, he's married to Ember Moon." I was like, "What?" Like,
that's wild.
Yeah, that's so random. You know, I mean, it's a small world, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad to see that she is thriving. I just wish that she was thriving on the main programs because I feel like Ring of Honor is a shell of its former self. Nobody really takes it seriously anymore because I feel like Tony Khan bought it with no real plan in place. I mean, he literally bought it to keep it out of WWE's hands because you know it did for its tape library. If WWE got hands on it, we would be watching the tape library on Peacock right now. But because Tony Khan didn't want it, I feel like he bought it out of spite. You know what I mean? And he doesn't really do anything with it.
I don't know, cause like he's about the same age. He's like a Ring of Honor nerd. He's a Ring of Honor nerd. So he grew up on that Ring of Honor, kind of like we did. So
that's true.
That's a soft spot for him. There is some credence to him keeping it out of WWE hands, but at the same time, he probably didn't want it to go by the wayside either, and just die out and just be sitting there, just watch. Oh, remember back in those days, Ring of Honor back in 2000? Nah, he wanted to keep it going. So, but I do agree that it is a shell of itself. Like Ring of Honor, say what you will, on HD Net was kind of cooking,
It was.
They had some good stuff, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of former Ring of Honor people on the payroll that you could put in charge of that. You don't have to do it all on your own. Chris Hero's back there. You got Sanj. You got a lot of people back there. Jay Lethal. You got a lot of people, whether it be in front of the camera or behind the camera, that know the product, and you can let them cook.
Exactly.
Chris Hero is working the books for what, West Coast Pro.
Yeah.
So he could definitely work the books for Ring of Honor, you know. And like I said, Athena, man, ever since she came over, she has been cooking. She has been the face of Ring of Honor. She's like the best thing to watch on there. The Minion Overlord, your forever champion. I love it. She's the MIT. I love it, man. And you kind of, like you said, you kind of want to see her on the main roster, and she's been teasing it too. So now that you have Mercedes and you have all these returning women and stuff, you kind of want to see Athena drop that belt and go up to the main roster, because we've seen Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher when he was the TV champion, the Undisputed Kingdom when they were the tag champions. You see all these Ring of Honor champions pop up on the main roster, but you haven't seen Ember Moon pop up on the main roster not once.
Yeah. I feel like it's long overdue. So hopefully she gets her opportunity, because she can have some decent feuds with I could see her and Thunder Rosa throwing it down. I think they could have a really good match, a really good feud. I think that's long overdue. I feel like Thunder Rosa's not really getting her due, so I feel like you should put them together and let them cook, and let them show like, hey, we're over here, guys. You're wasting your time with these other girls, and we're sitting here putting on these bangers, and you're just letting it just go by the wayside, kind of thing. So
they had her with the secondary feud with Gianna Perazzo, and that cooked. Oh boy, them girls was in the kitchen cooking. So I think they're leaning towards Athena dropping the title to Billy Starks with the whole MIT thing they're going through right now. Billy's frustrated. Yeah, she mad at her. So I think they're kind of leaning towards that. Once she does that, then you could probably see her making that leap to the main roster, and that's hopefully when she get a chance to get in that kitchen and start cooking, because they out there, man. The women, when the women do get a chance, they in there cooking up some.
Yeah, that's for sure. I agree. So some other rumors going around. I don't know if you heard this, but this is actually awesome. I talked about this on the show a few weeks back, but it seems like it's almost an all but guarantee now. The Motor City Machine Guns are NXT bound. That's right. That's Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, both former X Division champions, Impact / TNA Tag Team champions, and former TNA World champions themselves. They are now going to be headed to NXT. They left Impact earlier this year, in TNA earlier this year when their contracts came up. They did not re-sign. They hit the indie scene. They became one of the most sought-after tag teams on both ends of the spectrum with AEW and WWE. AEW tried their best to court them to no avail. Apparently, whatever AEW was offering, Shelley and Sabin didn't want any part of it, and they decided to sign with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and go to WWE, and they're going to debut on NXT and be the face of NXT's tag team division. Apparently, their debut may come as early as the debut of the CW NXT debut in Chicago. So, which would be an awesome, awesome way to debut them, especially in a hot wrestling city like Chicago. Shelley and Sabin getting that bag from the WWE, being on an international market like the WWE. I feel like that's a very smart move on their behalf. This is a thumbs up for me. I'm excited to see the Motor City Machine Guns. Can you imagine the type of matches these guys can have? Chase U, with Fraxium, with the Good Brothers. Who else is down there? OTM. They're going to have some good matches with a lot of good tag teams down in NXT before they move up eventually to the main roster. I don't feel like they're NXT. A lot of people are online getting really upset, saying that this is a demotion. I don't think it's a demotion. Even AJ Styles himself said that he wished he had started in NXT before just jumping to the main roster to get, I guess, acclimated to the WWE style of things. So for them, I think this is a good thing. They won't be there very long. They'll eventually move up to the main roster and start cooking there. But this is a good thing for tag team wrestling, especially with NXT, because these veterans will do a lot of good work for the young blood that's down there. So I don't know how you feel about that, Travis.
I've been following this for a while because, man, this has been like, will he, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, and stuff. And you're like, man, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Nobody's heard anything. They just know they're out there on the indies cooking and stuff, but they haven't really heard anything. Nobody's really said anything or anything. So this is like the closest that anybody's heard to a concrete, are they going here or are they going there?
Right.
I'm cool with them signing with WWE. I'm kind of not cool with the NXT thing. I understand helping like the young guys out, but you can always go back and forth. They do it all the time. You can always have them go back and forth from the main roster to NXT to go help the young cats out. I think they're much more needed on the main roster because, man, the tag team division, they need the help. Whether it be on SmackDown or Raw, they kind of need the help because you don't want to put them in the middle of that bloodline stuff. So you put them on Raw, like we saw what happened with DIY, man. Everybody wanted DIY. They gave us DIY for one. It took them forever to give us DIY. Then when they did give us the DIY and they put the belts on them, they just took it off of them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not helping the situation any. And you're like, what are the Street Profits doing? Like they get hot, they get cold, they get hot, they get cold, they get hot. You got Pretty Deadly. They're hanging around Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. They're mad entertaining and they can wrestle. So you kind of want to see more of them. But like, you feel like they need to be on the main roster, man. They're the Motor City Machine Guns, man. If you got to do, who are the Motor City Machine Guns? If you're one of those only WWE people, go on the internet, brother. You know how to work the internet. You know how to clickety-clack work them keys. Get on your job. Get on the YouTube and do it. Man, they need to be on the main roster cooking. I wish Imperium was still a tag team. Why the hell they break them up? That would be a fire match, man. The Guns versus Imperium? Man, you're killing me. But yeah, I kind of feel like I understand what you mean, them not being down there for long, but I mean they could go back and forth all
that's true.
The brand split is a miss. It's kind of like the salary cap. It's a miss. It's
I feel like them going to NXT is more of to try and get more eyes on the product once they move to CW. Like I feel like that's what their main intention is. Like it'll bring more eyes to the product when they move from USA to CW and keep eyes on there because especially with the older wrestling fans like me and you, we know the Motor City Machine Guns. We're familiar with them. And they're gonna help grow the NXT brand, and that way, bringing old fans and eyes that are familiar with them to that product. And then it's gonna get a lot of the younger fans be like, man, who are these guys? Like, and where'd they come from? They're fucking awesome. I don't doubt in my mind that these guys will eventually hold main roster tag team gold. In the very near future. Not only that, apparently another rumor going around is that maybe that's why they're not going to the main roster because apparently Ray Phoenix and Pentagon are jumping from AEW to WWE, and they're not going to NXT. Apparently, they're going straight to the main roster if rumors are to be believed. But that's what I've heard as well. So that's why they haven't been on AEW recently for quite some time. And then I think that's why Pac has transitioned from this Death Triangle group to now he's with whatever Ambrose and Claudio.
They haven't really called themselves BCC, but there's something. They're together. But yeah, I've heard that too. and I heard that they've been like, because they've asked Penta, straight up, are you going? Are you leaving? And he's been like, oh no, I can't. You can't really say. He's not trying to, he's not trying to, spill the beans. He ain't trying to snitch. So he's like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all gotta stop saying that stuff. He hasn't really come out and said, yeah, we leaving. But I think they're kind of waiting on Phoenix's contract to expire too.
Right.
Because he's had like some injury time and everything. So I think they're waiting for his contract to expire before, they peace out. So yeah, like the only caveat I have about this, or if you will call it that, is please, for the love of everything wrestling, do not stick them in a circle of let's wrestle the Mexican wrestler, let's wrestle the LWO, let's wrestle Legado Fantasma for about a month or a year or however it is, and that's all you do.
Yeah,
please don't do that. Give me a couple of matches versus the LWO, Dragon League, wet my whistle. I'll take that. But then have them go after the titles, do something. Have them go against Legado Fantasma, wet your whistle, do the thing, and then move on. But don't have them going in a holding pattern where all they do is wrestle the Mexican wrestlers. Don't do that to us. You're doing a huge disservice.
Yeah, I agree. They should. I feel like if you want to debut them strong, they need to go to the tippy top, man. They need to hit the bloodline. They need to hit Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. They need to go right after them, man. Can you imagine the crazy pop they could get? They hit if Penta hits that cradle pile driver on Tonga Loa and Ray Phoenix. They just dismantle Tama Tonga. You know what I mean? And just hold up those tag titles, and you just see Cero Miedo, with the tag titles in his hand. Like I feel like that would be an intense debut. I mean, like these guys, they've shown that what they can do all around the world. They've been champions where they've been everywhere. They've been champions
everywhere.
MLW, Ring of Honor. They've been champions in TNA. They've been champions in AEW. They have proven themselves more times than not. So I feel like you just got to jump at it. You know what I mean? They just go balls to the wall with it. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, you want to tell me GOD versus the Lucha Brothers? Bruh, I mean, I don't have enough pesos for you. I've given you all I've got. What can I do? I have given you all I have, my friend. What I mean, man, you just step out the way and let them cook. That's all you gotta do. Step out the way, let them cook. Hey, but I have to. No. You're overthinking it. Step out the way and let the boys cook. Exactly. Let the brothers cook. Let them cook.
All right, with that said, let's take a quick little break. I know we've been going off like for quite some time, just like nonstop, but let's take a quick little break. We might have to start winding down the wheels here in a little bit, but we'll talk about a couple more things and we'll be right back, guys. Let's hear from some of our other IE Sports Radio members, and then we'll be right back with you here on the IE Wrestling Show.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome to the 305, aka the Magic City, and this is Magic City Scoreboard. I'm your host, JB, and right here we're going to talk anything Miami. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, and even high school football. So join me once a week right here on Magic City Scoreboard on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed to all that is sports.
What's good, y'all? We are back with the IE Wrestling Show. You just heard from the heart of Texas with It's Drewski and the Magic City Scoreboard with JB. Check out those awesome programs here on the IE Sports Radio platform. If you haven't already, you should definitely do so. I know we're going to be winding down things here a little bit. We just me and T5 here. We just been cooking, y'all, just talking about wrestling, and like we're gonna have to do this again because we got a lot more topics we need to hit, but I don't even know if we got enough time to hit them all. But man, we got a lot covered today. But I want to get your thoughts on this, bro. Before we end today, Bad Blood is shaping up. Bad Blood is going to be live on October 5th in Hotlanta, in Atlanta, Georgia. And the matches that have already been announced so far, we got the Women's World Championship rematch from SummerSlam between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. You got Damian Priest going one-on-one with Finn Balor. And you got the Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, which I feel is got to be the main event. I don't see any other way around it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But now you got this other match that was just announced after this past Friday on SmackDown, the debut on USA. It's going to be the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, and the pretend Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa, taking on the OTC, the real Tribal Chief. Let's hold up them ones. The real Tribal Chief, the OTC Roman Reigns, teaming with the man who defeated him at WrestleMania for the undisputed WWE Championship, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Is this the right decision to have Cody Rhodes step up after the Bloodline has beaten him down, decimated him, left him beaten and bloodied outside of his bus on the road to WrestleMania, did all they could to stop him from winning the title that he eventually did? All this leading up to these backhanded shots against his father and his family, against him and his career, everything that the Bloodline has done, you know, that Cody had to have Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, John Cena, hell, even The Undertaker help him defeat the Bloodline to win the title, that now he's just going to say bygones be bygones for this one night and team with Roman to take on his cousin, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu, his other cousin. He's probably the most dangerous one of his cousins, the Samoan werewolf. I know a lot of people are kind of up in arms about this. Like I saw a meme that made me chuckle today, where it was Kevin Owens and Randy Orton sitting there with their arms on the top rope, just like looking like, really? It's just like when you help Cody beat the Bloodline for months, and then he just sits there and teams up with Roman or something like that. You know, like. I don't know. Like, what do you think, man? Like, this is a big match. Like, don't get me wrong. This is a huge match. This is big time right here. Roman's first match since WrestleMania. But is Cody really the one to team up with Roman? Like, there wasn't anything for Cody to do at Bad Blood, but get thrown into this Bloodline business once again. But on the opposite side of things now, I mean, he's teaming with literally the man who tried to stop him from achieving his dream of becoming WWE champion, you know, the dream of his father. And now he's just going to be like, all right, I'll help you out. Like, let's do this together type of thing. Like I'm a little like whatever about it. Like I'm not one way or another on it. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm gonna let things play out the way they play out. I'm looking forward to the match because we're finally gonna get to see that dream scenario of Jacob Fatu and Roman going one-on-one. Even though it's going to be in a tag team setting, they're going to touch gloves. They're going to, they're going to be in the ring against one another. And that pop from the crowd, it's going to be one of those moments where they just stare at each other and the crowd's already going to be like all enthralled, just involved. Just damn, this is a moment. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm kind of like you. How I'm not negative about it, but I'm not, too high up on it. But I see the possibilities with it, and I'm in two of the camps. I'm in, well, the man did get beat up a couple of times by the Wish bloodline, so I can see him still being kind of, and he's still a white meat baby face. So I can see him wanting to help out and stuff. But on the other hand, sometimes, I'm petty. Sometimes I just gotta have my alter ego on, and I'm savage, petty T, and I'm like, bruh, timeout, flag on the play. This dude sat here and beat you up for about a whole year. Cheated you out the championship the first time. You had to go get this man. Went and got his big cousin to come in and dang near cheat you out again. And bruh, you literally just beat this dude for the championship, and then he's sitting there. He ain't really saying nothing indifferent. He's still looking at your championship with them Google eyes and stuff, man. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I would have been like, Oh, who, me? Oh, who? I just beat him I know you seen. I just beat him in that cage. I'm done. Oh, you don't have any friends? You got any more family? I know how big that family is. I seen the family tree. I know you got a couple of more cousins. You better go call them. You not Cody Runnels. Not today. You better call somebody else.
Right.
Not today, You better go call Umaga's son. You better go call one of the other boys. And not today. I'm done. I'm off the clock. I'm one of the cats is like, hey, could you come in for work a little bit late? No. I'm off the clock. Thank you. Have a nice day. Shh. I'm super petty. What? Oh, you need help? Roman? He's like, I don't need your help. Great, because I wasn't going to give it to you. See ya. So, man, all seriously, I'm going to enjoy the match. It's going to be good. Like you said, Jacob Fatu, we've been waiting to see this cat cook.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
that boy is intense, bro. Him always being behind Solo with his prayer hands, just staring at Solo, and then when he was like screaming at him a couple weeks back,
I've been following this dude from MLW, bro, with Contra.
Oh,
this
bro.
Boy, talk about intense. Hell, Contra. That boy was cooking.
Yeah,
so I knew what time of day. I knew what type of day it was when I heard he was coming to WWE. I knew what type of day it was, bro. And then he done slimmed down too.
Yeah, man. He's looking. He was a bigger dude back in his MLW days. But man,
boy, him and Hammerstone, they was cooking. Them boys was cooking, bro. Them boys was cooking. War Chamber, them boys was cooking. So, man, to see, and I heard him talk, about before he even showed up, him talking about, working with Roman and everything like that. And I was like, hey, bro, hey, all right, bro. Don't tease me like that, bro. I'm sensitive. I'm a big dude, but I'm sensitive. Don't tease me. So man, it's gonna be fire. But you're kind of like, hey, logically, you're kind of like Cody. Don't be too white meat baby face that you going walk back into this and stuff, man. Because
Yeah.
you know how Kevin Owens like to break the fourth wall every now and then. He'll probably go up to like, Cody, what are you doing? What are you doing? Didn't we just? What are you doing?
You know how many times I kicked my ass for you, and then you're just gonna tag team with him? Like,
for real?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna make for some compelling television the next few weeks, you know, before Bad Blood. So,
right.
I mean, I'm that is what I'm here for. Like the entertainment leading up to the match, which should be on fire from beginning to end. And I heard the rumor right now is that, you know, the Saudis want Roman and Cody doing it one more time for the title at Crown Jewel, because I totally forgot Crown Jewel is a pit stop on the road to the Survivor Series War Games. But I still feel like in the end of the day, we're going to have the Bloodline Civil War match at War Games. I will stand on principle. I will stand on that soapbox. I will stand I will say it till I'm blue in the face. The main event for War Games has to be OG Bloodline, Roman, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and Sammy, the honorary Us, against Bloodline 2.0, Solo, God, and Jacob Fatu. I'm standing on principle on that. That is what I feel like is still going to happen. And maybe if it's going to be Cody and Roman one more time, babyface versus babyface this time for the title, this is where you get there. The Bloodline costs him his opportunity to win back the title. And that leads
See, man, this is why I mess with you, bro. This is why I rock with you, bro. This is why I rock with you. This is what I'm talking about. 100. People keep sitting there saying, well, you know, Cody, you know how Cody feels about the War Games and everything. They're gonna put him in there. No. No. I think it's like you said, I think it's gonna be OG Bloodline. You're gonna find a way to wrangle Sammy, because remember, they want to go after the Jay and Sammy want to go after the tag titles. I can see the OG. I can see the Wish Bloodline costing them titles and them getting pulled back in, and them being begrudgingly to work with Jimmy, or vice versa. Jimmy being begrudgingly wanting to work with them. I could see that. Happening, and Roman having to be Hannibal from the A-Team and get the band together.
Right.
I can see that. But Cody don't need to be no part of that. No. Cody could have been moved on by then. I can see that though.
Exactly.
Probably by that time we probably do Randy and Cody, huh? You think they probably been moved on to Randy and Cody by then, huh?
I want to save Randy and Cody for Mania, because I feel like that's where that type of match needs to happen. What I want to see, especially with the type of matches these two have been having, I feel like Cody should be defending the title at Survivor Series War Games against either one or the other, or both, Carmelo and Andrade. Either one or the other, or both of them in a triple threat.
Yeah, like they keep
the type of matches that they deserve.
The matches be cracking.
Yeah. I feel like they deserve a shot at the title for the way that these two have been having these matches back and forth. So Cody should come out and be like, man, I've been watching y'all cook. I'm a fighting champion. If I can't have one-on-one with one of y'all, I say both of you try to step to me for this title at Survivor Series.
Right, and it ends up going like they end up going like a number one contendership match that ends up going to like a draw or something.
Yes.
And he has to take them both on. I like that.
Yes. It wouldn't be the first time we had triple threat title matches at Survivor Series. We've had plenty. You had Big Show, Rock, and Triple H in 99. You had DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels against John Cena at 2008, I think. You had CM Punk, John Cena, and Ryback the night that the Shield debuted. So it's not out of the realm of possibility we have a triple threat match for the WWE title at a Survivor Series.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I'd be down for that. But like you were saying, the Cody don't need to be no part of that, man.
No,
I'm 100, and plus it's gonna get you to where you want, where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So
and I think the ultimate goal
War Games, like at least the South. Hey, not for nothing. at least the Saudis didn't ask for nobody that was not with us no more.
Right.
At least they didn't ask for Andre the Giant and who else? Who was those they asked for that time? That boy. When I heard that report, I said this gotta be fake news, man, because there's no they that behind. They sitting there asking for Yokozuna and they asked for Andre the Giant. They asked for a couple other people, and I was like, do y'all want to be the ones to tell the Saudi prince they're not with us?
That's so funny. Yeah, that's true. At least they're asking for people to stick with us.
We'll give you Roman and Cody. Sure. That's
right.
legal. That's work. We don't have to do no magic for that.
And that's a payday right there. That's going to fill the seats alone. Just that match, that rematch. Because I don't want to see it at Mania again. So I mean, if it progresses the storyline with Roman and his cousin and this wannabe bloodline, then I'm all for that. And I could already see like these backstage segments. Look, can you imagine what if Roman being the way he is? Because I mean, his character hasn't changed. He's so beloved by the crowd for what he did in his title reign that the fans it just became a natural thing to cheer him. But I think Roman is too prideful to apologize to Jay, apologize to Sammy, and ask them for their help. He's gonna send Jimmy to do that shit, and I can see Jimmy showing up on Raw and being like, "Look, bro, like, guy, like, I know this is the last. I know I'm the last person you want to talk to right now, but we need your help." And then cut to Sammy and Jay sitting there, and just like, you got a lot of nerve showing up here, man, and you have a lot and even bigger nerve asking for our help for him. Like, he doesn't have the nerve to do it himself, like, you know what I mean, type of thing. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of that back and forth before Roman finally either verbally or physically expresses like, I need y'all in this. I need y'all by my side. You know what I mean? It's gonna be this big epic moment, man, where like Jimmy and Roman are gonna be getting beat down, and then on a SmackDown or something, and out of nowhere, here comes Jay, here comes Sammy clearing house with Roman and Jimmy, and then you just get that nod. Like, Roman looks at Jay, looks at Sammy, and they get that nod like, all right, we're on the same page. And then would make it just the icing on the cake, have the wise man come back and say, you want to do this? You want to be the bloodline? You want to be the tribal chief? Well, you try to be the tribal chief. Survivor Series in Vancouver. The real bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0 War Games.
Whoo, boy. If anything, the bloodline has been if you could put one word, it's been, or actually two, either cinema or entertaining. Whoo, man, that right there, all your emotions, man, bro. How many memorable moments since the whole bloodline thing has started that they have presented to us? What has been beatdowns, title defenses, tribal court. How many times have we been like, man, we sitting there with our popcorn, just like with the popcorn meme, man, sitting there all up in the TV. Because it's been, we're like, hey, after this bloodline stuff is over, I would change the channel. I'm gonna turn the TV off. Man, that's been the most entertaining thing about SmackDown. It's been the bloodline. When they pop over on Raw, what? The bloodline gonna be on Raw. You pop on over to Raw. Yeah. They've been the most entertaining thing in WWE, man. So, and you hate for them to kind of overshadow Cody. Cody, you're going to get on your horse, bro, because this whole bloodline thing, if they only in like the third inning, third quarter, whatever the hell, it's going to be a while, bro. You're going to have to do something to make us. Hey, you're going to have to start juggling, breathe fire. You're going to have to learn how to do something, Cody, bro, because, man, this bloodline thing, and then you still got the whole you still got Rock.
Yeah, the final boss is waiting in the wings, bro.
I think the final boss is pulling them strings behind the scenes.
That's
with
what I
Solo
think
and stuff, man. And that's gonna lead us to where we originally wanted to get to. Roman.
Rock and Roman, yeah. I can see it now. Rock revealing him to be the one behind it all. Like, Roman, it was me. You sat there and you spoke to The Rock like I was your sidekick. The Rock is nobody's sidekick, bitch. And you are gonna find out that you don't fuck with the final boss. Oh man.
He picked that follower up and put it around his own neck.
Oh, bro.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. You don't deserve this. I've been doing this forever. You don't deserve this. I'm like, boy.
You may be the tribal chief, but I'm the high chief. I'm the high chief of this family. You don't. I don't step to you. You step to me. You bow down to me. You are here because of me. I can just see that now, you know, just him putting the business to Roman, just letting them know whose show it really is. SmackDown's my show. It's always been
on the burner and let the boys cook.
It's always been The Rock show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can just see it now, bro. It's gonna be epic, man. The next few months, whoo, man, we're in for some damn good television. And I mean, on that note, man, what, bro? Travis, thank you so much for being here, man. You gotta come back next week, bro. We gotta do this again, man. If you're able to, please come back, man. It was a pleasure having you here, man. It really was.
For real, bro. I'm here with bells on, bro. Say the word. I'm here.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I need you back here, man, because we got to talk about some stuff we didn't even get to. For y'all out there, fans of the show, please follow both of Travis's Twitter handles. Who is T Fizzle? That's his personal page, and then of course his show page, Crescent City _IE. He is the host of Crescent City Connection. Check it out. He is a part of Who Dat Nation, just like I am. That's right. That's right. Represent the black and gold. We 2-0. We doing the damn thing, man. So I really appreciate you coming here, man. Thank you all, wrestling fans. Yo, for sure, man. You are welcome anytime, man, for sure. Please follow me at IE Wrestling Show. Again, follow Travis at Who is T Fizzle, Crescent City _IE. Guys, this has been a pleasure. I hope y'all enjoyed the show as much as I'm sure. I don't want to speak for you, Travis. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed doing it for y'all today. Please show up next week. Same SoCal Saint time, same SoCal Saint channel. We'll be right here next week for the IE Wrestling Show. Peace.